Hello, this is part 3 of the TMS tutorial series. In this video, I will go through explaining the View Purchase Orders page, and since that is quite a short explanation, I will also explain the View Shipments page. So in part 1 of the TMS series that I have made, I went through and I explained what a purchase order is compared to what a shipment is. So when we select this page right here to view all purchase orders, it's going to do exactly that. It's going to let us view all of the purchase orders that have been entered into the TMS. Right now we don't have very many, but as more purchase orders are entered, you will begin to see this page fill up. Now, this page is not super critical for people that are working in the warehouses. It is not really going to be very often that they need to come to this page, because shipments are eventually what ends up at a warehouse, not a purchase order. As you can see here, the shipments come off of what the purchase order is. So this is the purchase order information, and this is just saying, hey, these are the shipments that are on that purchase order. But if I am a member of the purchasing team or the transportation team, or even the inventory team, I may come to this page fairly often, especially if I am a purchaser, because one job of a purchaser is to enter in all the purchase order information. So here you can see at the top that we have purchase order search criteria. We can search for any number of purchase orders with this criteria. We can search for purchase orders that came from Netherlands to Lehigh. We can search for purchase orders that only came to Lehigh. By doing this, we can search by start and end dates. If we know the order number, we can search that way. If we know that we want to instead search for warehouse transfers or sales orders, we can do that as well. We can also just search for anything that is released or anything that is in process. These are the different statuses. We can also search by who the requester was. So using all of the search criteria, we can come up with a pretty good search field that meets what we need to be looking at. Like I said, this is all of the purchase orders that have been inputted into the TMS in production currently. Off of this page, I can know quite a few things. This 60 right here is a link that will take me into the purchase order. And as I clicked it just now, you will see that it takes us to basically the page where the purchase order was created. It gives us all of the info about what the purchase order is, the address from where it's coming from to the address where it's going to, etc. If I want to get out of this page and go back to where I was, I can click this right here, which is View All Purchase Orders. And as you can see, I am back to where I was. There is a reference number. This number should link up to the NetSuite number. And there is a type. WT stands for Warehouse Transfer, and PO stands for Purchase Order. And then there is a warehouse where it came from, and then a destination where it's going. I will add that this page, this data that you are seeing right here is not very realistic. This is kind of all test data. So these most likely did not actually happen. These were just us testing stuff. So don't get too concerned if you see something that doesn't make sense about any of this data. The status of the purchase order or warehouse transfer is right here. Processing indicates that these shipments are in the middle of being delivered. And if it has multiple shipments on it, it means that some of them have been delivered, but others have not. There is a due/closed date. At some point, the purchase order will be closed out when all of these shipments have been confirmed delivered. And until it is closed out, there won't be a status of closed or anything like that. And then, of course, you can click this and expand the column here, the row, and you can see all of the contents and the quantity and the notes that are included in this specific purchase order. And you can do that for any of them that have multiple line items on them. So that's an easy way to figure out what is all on the purchase order. And of course, if you need to gather more information about it, you can jump over here to the order ID and click into it like we just did. Or if you are curious about what the shipment looks like, you can click this link and it will take you to the shipment itself. So this is not the purchase order that we're looking at. We're looking at the specific shipment on the purchase order. And from here, you treat it like any other shipment. You can set it to in transit. All of this information would be filled out normally. It's not, because this is more or less a fake purchase order that we are looking at. And there are notes as well. And of course, you can access your documents. On this page, you can also go back to view all purchase orders, which is what we were just at previously. Or you can go to view all shipments, which takes you to all the shipments in the TMS for you to view. So let's go back to view all purchase orders. This column right here is the ERP sync, and as we can see, the inventory clerk has not come in here and synced it up with ERP, and that's fine. So there's these hover icons that will help you out. So it's the date the transaction was updated in NetSuite for that shipment. And that's important for the warehouse to know. But since all of this is fake, they haven't come in here and actually fulfilled that. But normally you'll start to see that filled out. And then these are just certain actions that you can do. You can view it with a magnifying glass. This is a view where nothing is editable, so I don't often click that. You can go into it and edit it by clicking this. And this one, honestly, I have not used very much, and I don't see the need for anyone to be clicking that one currently. It may have a future use, but currently there isn't a reason to click this icon. All right, last thing I want to point out is the clear button. It will clear all your search criteria, as well as the add new purchase order button right here. This will take you to the page, the add order page, where you can add a new purchase order. So instead of having to navigate to here and clicking here, you just click the add new order button. So that concludes the tutorial of the view purchase orders page, and we're going to transition into the view shipments page, and I will click it now. As soon as I click it, every shipment that is in the TMS globally will pop up. So the first thing that I would probably want to do is narrow my search criteria. For example, if I am a member of the receiving team in the Netherlands, I would want to search for just shipments that are shipping to the Netherlands. And if I hit search, you'll notice that my search criteria has narrowed, and I only have 4 shipments to look at right now. Now, in the very near future, All of this will be collapsible so that you won't have to scroll all the way down and look at ginormous shipments with all of their data like this. You can just collapse it and scroll much quickly through every shipment. So we have much of the same search criteria as we do on the view orders page. We can search for anything that's coming from a very specific place. We can search for a specific time frame. We can search for a specific status. Maybe we only want the things that are in transit going to the Netherlands because we're not worried about anything that has already been delivered or confirmed delivered. So if I were to search for just in transit and the Netherlands, I will come up with just 2 shipments. So that's how the search function works. We can search for just a very specific SKU. Maybe we're only worried for whatever reason about the foundation stick Scarlet SKU. And if I knew the SKU, I could copy it like this. I could search for it, and I could make my search criteria even more specific. So you can do whatever you want with the search criteria. Over here from left to right in the columns section, we have the order number. If you clicked this, it would take you to the PO, and you would view the PO. As you can see here, we're viewing the PO, and there should be a PO number here. But as I said, we're not exactly viewing real data for the most part. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the View Shipments page. If I were to click this button, which is the shipment number that has been assigned to this shipment, I will go straight into the shipment page. We can see that it's in transit. We have our documents up here. We have all of this information that should be filled out sooner or later by inventory, by transportation, and by the purchasing team. If I am, a member of the receiving team in the Netherlands, I'm concerned about the expected ship date, the actual ship date. I'm concerned about what the ETA is, and I also need to know if it has been synced up to ERP. Here I have all the line items listed out, very similar to the last page we were on. And of course, everyone should be concerned about what is written in the notes. In this case, the hazmat items are listed out, as well as an estimated pallet count. This gives me just a little bit more detailed information than the View All Shipments page, which is right here. However, most of the information that you need is here. There is a reference number, there is a ship from and ship to, and then the item and all the quantities. The carrier, it is coming on the method or service, which is ocean. There is a tracking number, a ship date. If you hover over the icon, it says date the shipment left the destination, which was Lehigh. So it left Lehigh yesterday on the 12th. And then it's estimated to arrive in the Netherlands March 24th. And you can hover over this, date the shipment is expected to arrive in the warehouse. Confirmed delivery, date the shipment was confirmed delivered to destination. That's not filled out, obviously, because it has not been confirmed delivered. And then it has been synced up to NetSuite through the ERP sync yesterday on the 12th. If you hovered over this, you would also have a pop-up of all the notes just right here. So that's kind of handy as well. And that basically explains the View Shipments page. It's just a page where you view all the shipments. It's very handy for many people to be on at a time. If I am a worker in Lehigh, I pop into this page to verify that the shipment's in transit. If I was a worker in Lehigh, I could pop into the shipment from here and just verify the stats that we pulled as far as actual quantity. Did we pull everything? I could verify the documents if I felt like it. And if I am a member of inventory, I jump on this page to figure out what the status is on this warehouse transfer that was placed. And if I'm a member of a team in the Netherlands, I jump on this page to see that there is a warehouse transfer in transit that is expected to arrive March 24th. So it's a very handy page for all teams involved. A lot of people will be coming in here, doing their own searches and just verifying information, looking up shipments, um, and that sort of thing. So that basically explains this page, and that will conclude both videos about the view purchase orders page as well as the view shipments page. Hopefully I have done a good job of explaining both pages. If I have not, feel free to reach out to me. And I am more than happy to uh, answer any questions you have. It is our hope as a logistics team that um, sooner or later, as we get farther along in the implementation of the TMS, that all of these questions will be ironed out and all of the responsibilities of each team will be ironed out. And at some point, if I have a question and I'm in the Netherlands, I can just reach out to the inventory team or the transportation team or the purchasing team to seek clarification on a question that I have about any of this data. For instance, if you don't see a method or service, please reach out to Doug or Eric in transportation and ask them what it is if you feel that it is important to know. Obviously, if you don't see an ETA, it's important to reach out to them as well to seek clarification on any information like that. So please, by all means, don't feel like you just have to watch this video and know it all. Definitely be an active communicator, and if there's stuff missing, try and figure out what it is. So thank you for watching this. I appreciate it, and I will end the video